At some point in Vizrt, when you're working with fonts, you may need a way to constrain a lot of fonts or a series of words or constrain a summary of texts. And we can do that with our special box. So if we drag a font into our scene tree or scene editor and we come into our font properties over here on the right, we have this drop down here. It says special. Now the special box will help us contain some text within our scene. So for example, what we want to do is first make sure you have your bounding box on here within your scene editor, and this will allow us to see the text box when we come over here and turn this text box active to on. Now you can see this orange box that just showed up here. So let's move our text to the upper left here, and this orange box is essentially the constraint box that we're going to set up. So we have a width here that we can enter, and you can type numerically or use your mouse and slide it left to right. So let's lower this a little bit on the height, and now you can see our text box here is set up. So if we come into our text editor up here, and I'm just going to copy this, and we're just going to start pasting this in here. And as I paste it in here, you can see that it's wrapping this font. So it's not letting us go past this right margin here that we have set up at 683. Now you'll notice also how it's breaking it up a little bit different, and that's because I added a space in one and the other I didn't. Right now by default, the text box space is set to space and not any. So if I change this to any, it's going to come up and constrain it in a different way. And basically what it's saying is that it's just going to constrain it whenever it reaches that right side box there as you type. If you have it to space, it's going to wrap on a space. So if we're typing in here, we're typing and we hit a space there, then it's going to wrap on that space. So as you can continue to type here randomly, let's see, you can see how it's going to just strain that. And if you keep typing beyond the box, it's just going to cut off. So it's going to be important to work with your scaling size of the font to know which size you want to work with and how it's going to wrap. Now beyond that, we also have a direction here. We have a left to right, which it's set to by default. We also have a right to left, and then we can also do a top to bottom or a bottom to top. If we changed it to top to bottom, it's just constraining it in a different way, typing it from the top to bottom. Now, why would you want to use something like this? This is very useful if you need to set up some type of full screen and you're setting up a template for a producer. They may not know how much text they want to fill in. So this is one way that you can control the amount of text that gets in there.